So that man, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Portugal crash out at the quarter-final stage. We saw similar scenes here in the World Cup in 2022 when Portugal crashed out to Morocco in the quarter-finals in Qatar. Cristiano leaving the stadium for the last time at the European Championships. But from all reports, he will continue his international career with one eye on the World Cup in 2026. But as you can see there, confirmation that Ronaldo did say it is without doubt my final European Championships. Tough times for those fans. So close to a semi-final berth, but it is France that have emerged victorious. They do go through. Confirmation there, Spain and France through to the semi-finals on the other side of the draw. Two more quarters coming your way tomorrow, England and Switzerland, Netherlands and Turkey. So we're down to our last six at Euro 2024. What a day of action it was. No goals in that last match, but not short of drama and entertainment. And Portugal again going the distance, but this time failing in the penalty shootout. But Patrice, France through, winning in those circumstances. You're through now, full focus on the semi-finals, but that is a tough one. Emotions running high. The guys come through on top.
No, of course, we have to give them a lot of credit. I think even in France, people were not happy with the performance, the way France are playing. But at the end, we win against Portugal. Not an easy team to play. Of course, we can talk about the penalty shootout, but we get through. And now we have to think about the semi-final. It's going to be a big test, but also credit to all of those young boys having the responsibility to took those penalties and scoring. At the end, yeah, I'm proud to be France, and I can't wait for the next game. But let's celebrate for this performance because I think it's a really tough tournament, and we keep going.
David, we're just looking at the penalties here from the shootout. France 5 from 5. That was very different to what we saw against Costa in the previous round. You think French did their homework here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, as I say, Costa was going early, and the question was it super reading of body language, or was it some kind of information prior to the penalty shootout? He's not got close to any of them. That's the quality. Look,
the wrong way.
That's understood.
But he's going early. I mean, this is the thing. And if you know that the goal is going to go early, then you just have to see where his knee's going. Once his knee buckles, he's gone. This is simply. It's all to do with physiology. Once your knee goes, you've got to go. And they just went the other way.
Bhaichung, France go through now. They'll take on Spain. Of course, we saw Spain earlier. Spain will be without 4 players in the semi-final already. We've got a lot of time until we preview this match, but what confidence will France take out of that performance? It was tough. They failed to score again, but they were very strong against a very strong opponent in Portugal.
No, again, I think France go into semi-finals again as one of the best defensive team, and defensively they're very, very strong. Obviously, Spain are very good at passing, keeping the possession. They're not going to play like Portugal, quite deep, keeping the possession on their own half. But Spanish team is going to attack quite a lot. But again, I think France would go in a lot of confidence with the strong defensive lineup. With against even I think today, defense were solid. There was no opportunity given to Cristiano or any Portuguese side. There was only, I think at the end 1 or 2 open opportunities. But overall, I think they kept it very, very tight, and that's going to be their strength in the semi-finals against Spain.
They were solid, they were tight, it was tense, and it was tense right through to the end of the penalty shootout, of course. As it was here inside the studio, I can tell you could feel the tense feel in the air. There were nerves, but we were watching closely, and of course Patrice was on the edge of his seat the whole time, as we all were. It was tough, but here's Felix missing. And of course, the reaction in the studio at that point in time was, there you go. You know what it means. It was a lot of, well, I was on the edge of my seat as well. I'm not even French, but you could certainly feel it. And obviously France, again, this is as tough as it gets, but he's doing everything he can from Mumbai to will this team on. And of course, at the end, they're through to the semi-finals, through to the Final Four. It was relief. And Patrice, the wonderful scenes here. Just take us through this moment here. Through, job done, another semi-finals for your nation.
Yeah, no, I think it's tense. Like, so when you ask me how you're feeling, I just feel a release. It's a joy, when you play for your national team and you see your country moving forward to any tournament. I'm really proud, to be French.
Proud to be French. We'll get to your nation tomorrow, David. I'm looking forward to that one because they are still alive and it could be an England-France final. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But it was, look, it was a special game. It was a really, really special game, and unfortunately, Portugal do go out. But it was all about France. Wonderful winning moments there to relive for all French fans. There is a topic of debate that will come out of the match, and it was Kylian Mbappe, his substitution, his performance, playing with that mask, which we did touch on in the lead up to the match. He did look bothered by it a little throughout, and obviously did come out. He did take a knock to the head. What do you make of it all?
But I say it. I say before the game, I don't expect a 100% of Kylian Mbappe. I play with a mask. And trust me, you lose at least like 60%. And I say I don't want to find any excuse, but you touch it, you remove it, you're sweating, you receive a knock, you're scared to go, with your head. And of course, like I'm not surprised. And like I say, I'm not finding an excuse because at the beginning of the tournament, also without the mask, he missed that 1v1 chance. I think he have a tough season with PSG, now signing for Madrid. Yeah. He has too much things on his head, and the captain of France, too much responsibility. I know he can handle it, but with that broken nose, he will have a tough tournament.
I think because the game was the way that it was, and he wasn't getting much of anything, then all of a sudden you start thinking about your nose more. Weirdly, if he was having loads of action, you kind of just, you know what it's like.
It becomes more of a problem.
The adrenaline's pumping and everything.
I agree.
I just think that he's got.
He's a problem, and like they say, after you're not maybe in your game, you're not gotten. You start touching the mask. You start like being focused on the mask, and it's true. It's just human being.
It's not natural.
It's natural. It's a natural instinct.
Well, we had masks on in the studio a couple of weeks ago, and even that just to look to left and right was hard enough.
I thought you still had it on.
No, that's a good one. But you can see Mbappe, you can see what it means to him, you can see that.
But of course.
Obviously, no happier man on the pitch than Mbappe, and he will, Bhaichung, now be in another semi-final, and of course still has an opportunity to play a key role for his nation. He scored the only goal thus far that wasn't an own goal for France, coming from the penalty spot.
Yeah, again, I think the good thing is they've got now 3-4 days break. I think that's going to help quite a lot for him to recover, which is going to be a big crucial thing. And as you know, David and Patrice said, it's always difficult to play with anything which you're not used to it. Even just wearing a mask and sitting and watching a game, for us to do 90 minutes is going to be a lot of problem.
Exactly.
Imagine Kylian Mbappe, who's a striker, and he likes to take on defenders. And he's, when you take on defenders, there are always contact that's going to happen. Yeah. And that always gets into your mind psychologically. I think it affects quite a lot to a player. And unfortunately, he got a hit in the first half, I think, in today's game. And I think that definitely makes a big difference for a player like him.
Well, wasn't the best night for Kylian Mbappe tonight, but a number of his teammates were very impressive. And of course, look, Portugal, they had their chances as well, but largely it was down to Mike Maignan. I thought he was brilliant in goal. Again, obviously, he stood up in the shootout when it counted, but France did have their chances. There were these waves of chances late on, enough to take for them going into now another level of match against Spain in the semi-final.
But of course, I think also the defense were breaking those I will say half opportunity. Now we're seeing like the incident with Mbappe. But yeah, I think we feel safe and secure with Maignan in goal. After Hugo Lloris, for me, Maignan to coming in the goal for France, I feel even more secure. He have a great season, with Inter. He's a solid goalkeeper, and thanks God we have him.
Wonderful player. And no surprise with Maignan, because Kylian Mbappe and his French team are through to the semi-final, largely thanks to their man in goal, Mike Maignan, who's tonight's change maker of the match.
Now the break is on here for Bruno Fernandes.
This was the wonderful passage of play from Portugal, outside of the foot from João Cancelo into the feet of Bruno Fernandes, way too close to Mike Maignan.
Away from Camavinga. Rafael Leao, superb save, and Ronaldo is denied too. Terrific stop by Mike Maignan. It's Portugal asking all the questions now.
Coutinho, the man poking it back towards goal. Ronaldo attempting the back heel.
Change maker of the match, Mike Maignan. Wonderful performance, David. Stepped up when it mattered most, making some key saves throughout, obviously in the shootout as well. And we've said it before, we'll say it again, but these goalkeeper performances are really proving to be the difference in key moments at this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the first save, I thought was excellent. Bruno Fernandes turning around here, and it's a quick shot across him. He's had to get down low. The second save, in a strange kind of way, became the match-winning save because it was a double save because Ronaldo, he had to get back up and for the back heel. But without your goalkeeper playing well, I think you're going to struggle to go far in this tournament. And we've seen some very excellent goalkeeping performances. As I say, this save here, because it looks like it just hits him, but there's movement. He's basically stopping the ball with any part of his body rather than trying to do something else. I mean, it's fantastic.
Looks so solid, and it'll be tough to beat for Spain. Again, a reminder, France have only conceded that one penalty. So,
just going to say, because the funny thing is, you've got Spain, the team that score loads of goals, free-flowing, and you've got France who don't concede. So the other four teams in the other half are probably looking at it going, OK, well, let's win this game, get to the same. But if we've got to face one of these two in the finals, we've got an out-scoring team or a defending team. It is a perfect...
They're doing enough. They're doing enough, France. They're looking very good. And there was no way through for Cristiano Ronaldo. Sadly, his European Championship career comes to an end. Failed to get that goal to become the first player to score at six European Championships, of course. But sad scenes there. Of course, he and Pepe now in the twilight of their careers. Some emotional scenes, emotional moments together. They've played together for so long, Patrice. You shared the field with these players. It's
this is big boy crying, and like I say, you know, sometimes my dad teach me when a man cries, it's a weak sign of weakness, but it's not. I mean, like, they are human being, and it's beautiful to see. You know, they play all together. They have an amazing adventure, and I repeat what Pepe says: when Ronaldo decides to stop, I will stop, and that's probably what he's crying, because he knows it's also his last game with the Portugal team.
Bhaichung, two legends of the game there. Ronaldo did say, though, that there is talk he may go on to the 26th World Cup.
Oh, that's you got to make him happy. Bhaichung got to be even more happy.
I think it's very sad to see, you know, players like Ronaldo and Pepe. I think they've been legends. I think Cristiano has been the greatest footballer I think we've seen in our generation. And you know, to see him not play anymore, at least in European Cup is very, very sad. And obviously he would have loved to go in a better way, but again, you can't take away from the kind of things he's done to the game. The service is gone, he's entertained, and anywhere, any club, any country he's played, any league he's played, he's proven that he can score goals, and he's the best striker I think the generation has seen.
No doubt. I think it will sting, of course. Perhaps for the record, he didn't get that goal, but someone who's done his country so proud. He plays with passion all the time, and he must be respected. But it just wasn't to be for Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal at this tournament.
Thoughts about Manchester United and Everton? The erstwhile great Manchester United are still seesawing. A draw with Spurs on the 14th of January saw them win 5 straight games, albeit most of them just barely. Then came the awful loss to Fulham on the 24th of February, in which they played a lacklustre game. Then came Sunday's derby, where they lose 1-3 to the current league champions Manchester City, a game where they go a goal ahead, defend brilliantly for 50 minutes, eventually capitulating to the obviously better class of their rival. Regarding the manager Erik ten Hag, there are still many complaints from pundits left and right. The lack of clear sense of direction or style of play, lack or poor quality of man management, and constant poor recruitment of players. Since the 25% takeover of Man United by Jim Ratcliffe, it was hoped that Man United will progress to a more successful direction under his watch. Some pundits even think that Ten Hag might even be replaced come next season. Yet the stats show that he did not do too badly. He managed 61 wins in all competitions in his first 100 games, which actually is better record than either Mikel Arteta with 54 and Jurgen Klopp with 50.
Thoughts on Arsenal and Tottenham? If not for that one-week blip where they lost to Aston Villa and bow out of the Champions League, Arsenal have been by far the most impressive team this season. They have the best defensive record. They blow teams away by huge margin of goals, which leave them with the top goal difference, worth a point at least. Even after that week of disappointment, they are now pretty much faultless. It is not their choice, however. They have to be, because reigning champions Manchester City have games in hand, which if they win all the remaining games, there is nothing Arsenal can do about it. They will be crowned champions for the 4th consecutive time. But the way Arsenal played this season, it will be a shame if they did not win the Premier League.